Okay, you know what? These last couple days have been kind of, nothing but sad and negativity. So much to the point where yesterday I literally had to make my video about that when it really should have been about a couple other things I had planned. In fact, that's my low. It's because it got to be so bad I couldn't really, you know, ignore it. But that's fine. Because yesterday my high and my act of kindness really helped make everything better. Obviously, with my act of kindness, I helped get dinner ready, as well as helping my mom watch my nephews yesterday afternoon. And just the fact I was with my nephews was enough of a high for me. Because there's one thing that we tend to forget, especially when stuff, like what just happened in Texas the other day, happens. Like, yeah, this world can be a big and scary place. But it really is just being surrounded by the people who matter that makes it all worthwhile. In fact, no kidding, a friend of mine who just recently got engaged said something really profound. And that is, life really is full of mundane moments that you choose to make special. So, by all accounts, I always thought it was, wonderful being with my nephews, but I think I'm going to try and do a better job of really making the most of it. Not that I wasn't putting effort into it at all. If I wasn't putting any effort into seeing my nephews, I just wouldn't see them at all. But, yeah, I really should do better. Here's the thing. When it comes to making a moment special, you gotta choose, but don't be choosy, Because because you could wind up having, like, a really special moment and, like, not realize it until it was already too late. So, yeah, that's enough sorry stuff out of me. Although, I do feel as if I need to, bring everything back up to, levels of cheer and joy. So, good morning, happy Friday, everybody. Let's start with that. Today's Friday. But more importantly, after what didn't really seem like that long of a wait, we already started season 18 of Hot Ones. Yeah, we have season 18 of Hot Ones, man. And it is back. It is great seeing Sean Evans and the good folks over First We Feast back again. It is awesome. I am so glad that, they look like they got plenty of rest and relaxation through everything that's been going on. And, to make it better, the first guest was Post Malone. If you don't know who Post Malone is, he's a musician, rapper, songwriter, whole nine yards. And it really is interesting seeing a person who's already been on Hot Ones be on there again. Because, especially when it comes to the case of Post Malone, it's such a fascinating sort of journey to see where one person starts up only to end up at a better place than where they were earlier. And that's exactly what it was like with Post Malone. Because when Post Malone was on there, he was like in a sweatshirt phase, he had like really long hair, he was always wearing like the sunglasses or whatever. But now, like, he shaved off all his head. He has like a buzz cut now. He's wearing like short sleeve shirts, and by all accounts, he was already a successful musician, but now he's like really successful. A few hit singles and a couple famous commercials. Like, bro, he's there. Way to go, Post Malone. And it was great watching him talk about, musician-related stuff. Like, because one thing he famously does is, covers of other songs. He'll do that. Because he really is a great musician. And, he talked a little bit how, what you do is different, but if you can put your own spin on it, it works. You know what I mean? Although, the only thing, and I guess it's Hot One, so I'm not really expecting Sean Evans to ask about this. But I'm surprised that Post Malone never really talked about the fact he's a Cowboys fan. Like, he is a super huge Cowboys fan. Like, no kidding, I think it was not this previous draft, but the draft before. Like, he did a commercial with Jerry Jones. And it was probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And that's not just because I'm a Cowboys fan too. Seriously, you know what? Just for, I'm going to make this, I want to make this video special somehow. Especially after what's happened in a couple of days. So you know what? I'm going to try and give you a Mount Rushmore of Dallas Cowboys fans. Oh yeah. I don't know if it's ever been done before, but I'm going to do it. And Post Malone, he is on there, for sure. Now I just got to think of 3 other people. Well, before anyone says anything, no, I'm not going to put Skip Bayless on there. Because I got to make the comparison, like, God and humanity. Like, Skip Bayless, he's God. He's up here. And, like, humanity and humanity is, like, down here. With, like, the Mount Rushmore being, like, the tip of humanity's finger. So, with that in mind, I got to put Post Malone on there. I got to put Jamie Foxx on there. Jamie Foxx, man. He's Ray. He's Django. Jamie Foxx is the man. Not to mention, back before I hit puberty, like, I would totally like sing Jamie Foxx's part of Kanye West's song Gold Digger. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Jamie Foxx is the man. Surprisingly, and I'm going to throw this, because I'm sure probably no one's thought of this, but, who's also a fan of the Dallas Cowboys? LeBron James. Yeah. LeBron James is a Dallas Cowboys fan. And it really is, something special when, and here's the thing, because I watch Undisputed with Skip and Shan a lot, and, Skip Bayless is obviously a Cowboys fan, and Shannon Sharp is obviously not. But Shannon Sharp always brags about how great LeBron James is. So, whenever it's ever brought up that LeBron James is a Cowboys fan, Shannon's like, that's one place where we part ways. So yeah, I'll put LeBron James on there. And I swear I knew there was like one more fan I can think of. Hold on. And before anyone says anything, no, I'm not going to be saying myself because that would just be far too pretentious. Man, I used to know this. Oh, I tried. I mean, I guess if I take the whole God and humanity thing, I'll put Skip Bayless on there, I suppose. Until I think of someone else. But that being said, no Dallas Cowboys fan is greater than Skip Bayless. That I'm not, it's funny, he's on a show called Undisputed. I'm not going to dispute that. Okay. So anyway, that's enough talk about Post Malone. Because as long as I am here, and as long as the opportunity did present itself last night, okay, confession time. It's no surprise that, around middle school and high school, I was feeling really depressed. And I've talked about it enough, so I'm not going to get into why. Needless to say, occasionally, whether it's on the radio or at a party or whatever, you hear music that really does speak to you. In my case, I needed to hear the voice of someone loud, crass, fearless, and one of the best to ever do it. And back in the early 2000s, no one did that for me better than Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem. Why am I bringing this up now? Because in the early 2000s, yes, while Eminem had great music going for him, what really brought him to stardom was his movie 8 Mile. And 20 years after that movie was released, now I finally saw it. Well, I couldn't have seen it back then. I mean, I was only like 12 years old when that movie came out. And that movie was rated R. There was no way my folks were going to let me see it. And I certainly had no means to steal a car and run to the theater, so I had to wait for my time to watch it just like everybody else. And sadly, because here's the thing, 8 Mile's actually been on TV a couple of times, but I really haven't been able to see it all the way through. In fact, last night was the best chance I had of being able to see it all the way through. So, having seen it enough, I think I'm ready to do a MoReas on 8 Mile. So, I mean, the movie literally starts out with Eminem choking on stage. Actually, his name is Jimmy, but his friends call him Rabbit, which, okay, Rabbit's a cool name. I like that. I wonder if it's meant to be a reference to Jefferson Airplane. Because, White Rabbit, that's actually the name of the song they do. Anyway, so Eminem kind of, I'll just say Eminem because that's who he is. Even though, yes, his name is Rabbit or Jimmy. He has a few good supportive friends, but his life living in, Detroit, especially back in that time, it's horrible, man. Like, it was. I mean, occasionally you hear on the news, like, oh, this city is the worst city in the world, or, like, this city is the worst city. I live in Elmira, New York. I can't tell you how often I've been hearing how bad Elmira is. I'm like, no. Detroit back then makes Elmira, or even, no, seriously, Rochester, New York was just recently voted, I think the murder capital of at least America or something. Detroit back then makes Rochester look like a kiddie ride. You can actually almost make an argument that it still does. But, it's home to a lot of people. And, people make it their home and they love it. I'm not gonna dispute that. But in the setting of this movie, yeah. Eminem's character lives in, the trailer park with his mom, and for a while, her douchey boyfriend, played by Michael Shannon, and he has a daughter named Lily, who's the most adorable Lily is the most adorable little girl ever. For that timing. I can't believe Lily's got to be in her early 20s at this point. Because I'm sure she was probably at least 4 years old when that movie was made. So, yeah, she's probably a fully grown adult who graduated college right now. I don't know. But, and he's trying to, be a successful, music artist, a rapper. And literally the movie opens with him choking. To, I think it was a Papa Doc, played by Anthony Mackie. Yeah, Anthony Mackie was in this movie. Here's the thing. I remember when Anthony Mackie was on Hot Ones, they talked about that for a little bit, but again, I couldn't see the movie because I was too young. And before I continue, I should probably say, yeah, this movie was on TV, so any of the crass language you hear, like the F-bombs and stuff like that. Obviously that was going to be, muffled out or bleeped out or whatever. But it's about the only experience I can get at the moment, so but it didn't really affect the overall viewing experience for me. It's still really great. Full disclosure, 8 Mile is a great movie. Because through it all, Eminem's character stays true to who he is. He may not have much in life, but that's okay. In a way, it's kind of a lesson into, making the little things in life special. Which, yeah. Eminem's character may live in a trailer park with his daughter and his mom, but you know what? That's actually still a lot more than what most people have. Really, it's true. And it's not like he's unemployed. He works at like a steel factory or whatever. And at the end of the movie, I really did like this final scene. Because Eminem finally gets revenge and he beats Anthony Mackie's character, Papa Doc, in the finale. And the MC, who's actually a really good friend of Eminem's in the movie, walks up and says, why don't you co-host with me? It'll be great. And Eminem's like, no thanks. You've got your thing, and you're great at it. But I gotta do my thing, my own way. And that's what it is. Don't get me wrong, it's great having people by your side, but in the end, you gotta do what only you know how to do. And it literally just ends with Eminem walking away and, here's the thing. It's kind of left ambiguous as to how successful Rabbit would have been at the end of the movie, because becoming a famous rapper in Detroit, that was going to get him noticed. But it is possible to do it your own way. This is a poor example, but, look at me. I've been making videos for over 1,600 days now, and, I only do what I know how to do. That's ever stopped me. And it's not going to stop me. And honestly, I think that's a metaphor about life. Because there are times when life just knocks you down. And that reminds me, I'm pretty sure his girlfriend in that movie was the late Brittany Murphy, which, man, I forgot how beautiful Brittany Murphy was. Holy cow. May she, God rest her soul. But yeah, this was, anyway, she's trying to become a famous model, but it turns out that, this one guy who sort of is like Eminem Rabbit's friend, but really is kind of like one of those sleazy show business type people where if you're a beautiful woman, you kind of gotta pay to become famous. Yeah, it's that kind of movie. And it's very easy to see why I couldn't watch it back then. But I'm glad I finally got to see it now. It's something I can cross off my to-do list, especially as an Eminem fan. So, and here's one good fact about 8 Mile I don't think anyone really realizes. That movie won an Oscar for Best Song. Eminem is an Oscar-winning rapper. Think about that. And that's why I think he's the best to do it. I don't have a Mount Rushmore of, rappers, but I'm definitely putting Eminem on mine right now. Like, favorite, share, subscribe button, follow me on the social platform, on YouTube. I am very humble in this video for all of you guys watching. Enjoy for a wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, you guys, we'll talk to you. Be here to land. And always have your back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.